Hey YouTubers, it's your pal Platt here, and today I'll be drinking a Saison from Under the Rose Brewing in Reno, Nevada. It's located in the historic downtown 4th Street area, and like I said, this particular beer is a Saison, or also known as farmhouse ales. They're a Belgian style beer, basically based off the pale ale. They were brewed for generally summertime consumption by the farm workers back years ago. One thing about the Saison / farmhouse ales is that you can get a wide variety of flavors. Saisons aren't like your bought beers from Germany, or let's say a stout that when you know the style, you know what you're getting. The Belgians don't brew in a way where they become slaves to style. You know, they allow for a little interpretation or whatever. So these Saisons, I think, part of their popularity is that you can get all kinds of unique flavors, and that the brewers are allowed to brew in the Saison style, but still allowed for a little creativity. There's usually some different spices or little tweaks to the Saison style that you don't see in other styles of beer. This particular one is 4.8 ABV, 16 IBU, and if you get a bottle of this, one of the unique things that Under the Rose does for all their beers, not just the Saison, is they have little food pairing notes down below. They suggest pork, seafood, and chicken for this particular beer. We're not eating right now, but we're definitely going to drink, so let's give her a try. All right. Nice little head, nothing huge. Oh, definitely a funky nose. You pick up a little bit of the hops, but definitely some spice. Nice copper color to it. Let's give her a try. I get a good bit of malt up front. Carbonation on this one is not, I don't get the effervescence, but it's not flat in any way. I do pick up some fruit. I think the big thing I get off this is some of the malt sweetness. So to kind of wrap up on the Saison from Under the Rose, plenty of nice malty notes. A little light on the spicy notes. Very drinkable though. The carbonation in this particular one was but not flat by any means. Nice little beer. I'm definitely interested in trying some of their other beers, and that's because I like microbrews and I want to support the local, or Reno being kind of a regional economy. That's why I get to my next topic. A few months ago, you might remember Budweiser started to add a series about being a macro brew. And I know a lot of the micro-brew people kind of took advantage of that or whatever. I understood it. If you've been reading anything about the beer business, the microbrews are starting to take a chunk out of the big boys' marketplace, and obviously they need to kind of fire back. And I thought Budweiser's kind of take on it was kind of understandable, or, you know, a good way. Also, I noticed they brought in pairing Budweiser with burgers. That was the big thing. Kind of like this one doing food pairings on its label. Obviously, burgers fit pretty well with whatever beer you have. I'm a guy who likes both. Sorry about that. Audience is deciding to participate. But I'm a big guy that believes believes and buys both sides, macro and micro. The reality is, most of us, our first beers were not double IPAs or Doppelbocks or Saisons or whatever. Most likely was a Pearl or a Lone Star or a Keystone that our uncle gave us or whatever. Macro brews. And out here in Vegas, there's just some days it's so hot that, again, drinking a stout or what have you just doesn't make any sense. Sometimes you just want a nice, cheap, light beer. And that's another thing to consider. Out here in the casino, sometimes you get pretty good specials, $2 Miller Lite drafts, whatever. $2. It's hard to beat. Also, you hipsters out there, and a lot of times are the hardcore beer geeks, we also like the old retro beers, the Coors Originals, the Miller High Lifes, the Pabst Blue Ribbons. Well, those are macro brews. So I just hope that people, the beer snobs out there, can kind of just simmer down a little bit. Macro brew, micro brew, we all love beers, and you know, the Cola Wars almost killed Michael Jackson. I don't want this thing to get out of hand. That being said, support your local brewery, try something different, get out there. If you're the stereotypical Miller Lite guy, spread out your palate. If you disagree with me on the topic or you have your own view, feel free to leave it in the comments section below. And again, if you have any questions or suggestions or whatever, feel free to also contact me on the Twitter page. Well, until next time, bottoms up.